So, Christy, it's night 2 of Missions Conference 2021. Thank you so much for joining us. You know, we heard last night about the beginning. We're telling a story, and now the program began to expand, and we went from a few people to more and more people going, more countries opening. I was wondering, do you remember your first missions trip?
Yes.
Do you remember the first trip you went on?
Yeah.
I went to Trinidad with David and Diane Smoot.
And it was 2005, we went to Venezuela. And what a memorable trip that was.
Whenever we got there, I'd never gone out of the country before, so it was a brand new experience for me. So we got to a place where we were staying and settled in, boys on one side, girls on the other. The team was fairly large. It was around 15 or so people. And once we got settled in, it was nighttime. David Smoot was outside on he had a satellite phone, which back then we weren't allowed to take any form of communication, no communication with our families. When we left them at the airport, Miami was the last place that we were allowed to say goodbye. And that was good because it helped keep us focused on the trip at hand without interruptions from home life. So David was outside with his phone, and he actually let me use his phone to call Chad, my husband. And so I called him, and I remember I was trying to talk to him and describe what I was seeing, what I was smelling, and just the things around me, and I just couldn't continue talking. I had to just start crying. I don't know why I was crying, but I just felt like I was in the right place. But still, like, am I supposed to be here? Kind of always question myself. But that was my first trip, and it was good. It was real good.
Couldn't believe I was asked to go by Johnny Johnson, Pastor Johnny Johnson. And when he asked me, I kind of went home and thought about it and was thinking, man, I don't feel like I'm the right person for the job. But you know what? I think that I'm learning that if God calls you, you ought to do it. And I did. And I went down to help people, I thought, and ended up being helped. And you know, I think this is, a lot of people know that. It's a common thing. We go down trying to help out, and ends up we see, God allows us to see our lives and the way we live and who we are inside and out, and how we are and how we treat people. And I think that it doesn't make you 100% better, but it helps you to see who you are and what God's will is and what His plan is. And it's a life changer for sure.
So the program began to expand. We were going into more and more countries. More and more people were getting excited about going. You know, if you could take a moment and give your best pitch, how would you encourage the next generation to go onto the mission field?
All right, so to give a pitch, I would have to do it through what I do normally on a daily basis. I'm a teacher, so I would have to, my angle would be at educating. You wouldn't be going to educate them, you're actually going to educate yourself, because there is so much that when you first start going, you don't know. You think you know, but you really don't know. And when you come back, you're like, wow, now I know. I get the bigger idea.
So a lot of people say, you know, going on a mission trip can be in-state, out-of-state. I know that in-state is just as good, but in the States. But at the same time, when you're out of your element, your country, the things that you're raised with, and you go out into a foreign land, your senses are all heightened. And it is a eye-opener. And I would say that anybody who has the chance to go, whether they're invited and they don't think they have the money, don't you worry about that, because you just believe it and God will give it. And I feel that if you get a chance to go outside of the boundaries of the United States, you're going to see a whole lot of things, and not just doing this for self, but you know, we go with God when we do this, believing that Jesus is going to cover us, and He always does. Even though when we go, we do face a lot of battles. It seems like Satan is always trying to stop us, but we know who wins. We prevail in the end, and we always do. I always have. I've come back with a new understanding And I would say to any young person out there or somebody new, doesn't matter if you're an older person, if you've just never been, I wouldn't miss it. I would do it for sure. If you get that opportunity, it will help you and others, and maybe it might be the answer that you were looking for. So
You leave your home. I always tell, whoever wants to go, have you ever left home? No. Well, you need to leave home because there's a bigger perspective. Like, the world's bigger than just here. And God gives us the opportunity to see that big picture, what he is seeing. I mean, he sees even more, but he's at least given us a little bit to help us figure out where we're supposed to be in this world, what we're supposed to be doing in our part for his kingdom. So I encourage to simply go and learn, if it's nothing else, to learn that you don't need to be there, but go.
yes, 100% go.